Hello guys, today we'll be looking at the leaky bucket algorithm of Computer Networks Laboratory of 5th semester CSE. So firstly, what is leaky bucket algorithm used for? It is used for congestion control. So what is congestion control actually? So suppose you have the sender and you have the receiver, and the sender sends the packet to the receiver. The rate at which the sender sends the packet to the receiver should be in a regulated manner. Suppose the sender sends the packet in an abrupt manner or very fastly, the receiver may not be able to handle it. That is why we need congestion control. That is traffic control between the sender and the receiver. So this is the basic idea of congestion control, which is why we need the leaky bucket algorithm. So what actually is leaky bucket algorithm? So in leaky bucket algorithm, you have the bucket which is symbolized to be as a network. Then you have a hole. So suppose in a normal bucket, if you have a hole and the water is pouring through the uh, bucket, you have a hole and it will be coming in a drop wise manner, which will be regulated. So how much ever pressure the input water is flowing in, the output of this the output from this small hole will be the same, that is the droplets, which will be regulated and it will be constant. So the input rate can be however being altered, but the output rate will be constant. So that is what actually happens in network 2. So now coming to the network, if you consider the bucket to be as the network and the hole to be as the output rate, so the network has the maximum size of packet that it can hold. That is called as the bucket size. That is initialized to 0 in the 1000 in the program. So the packet more than this bucket size will cause the bucket to overflow. So also accordingly, so you have the output rate, that is a fixed constant rate at which the packets are sent from the sender to the receiver. So how much ever be the packet size, the output rate will define the rate at which the sender sends the packet to the receiver. So firstly, the program is written in Java. You have the Java import java.util.scanner to import the scanner class in order to get the input from the user. Then you have the public class leaky. Here the class name and the file name should be same in order to execute the program, that is leaky. Then you have two variables, that is bucket size and output rate, which are initialized to 1000 and 100 respectively. So bucket size is the maximum size of the network and the output rate is the rate at which the packets are sent to the receiver side. So suppose we take an example where you have a packet size of 1020. Now we have set the bucket size to be 1000. Now seeing the both the values, 1020 is greater than 1000, that is the packet size that you're sending, that is 1020, is greater than that of the bucket size itself, that is 1000. So you can't be putting this packet inside the bucket, that which will cause the bucket to overflow. That is why you can't the program will have this statement called the bucket will be overflowed. Now coming to if the packet size was 400. Now the output rate is set to 100, which is a constant value. If now the 400 packet size is 400. Now what happens is the output rate is only 100. So you can send only packet size of 100 to the receiver. So now you have a packet size of 400. So how will you do it? So 400 is split it into 100, 100, 100 and 100, which is 4 times 100. So each time the output rate would be 100 by 100 bytes packet will be sent each time through the output rate. So then you can send the 400 packet size packet. Then you have 100. This can be sent in one go from the output rate. Then you have the 50. 50 is less than the output rate. So the packet size is smaller than the output rate. Then it can easily go through the output rate. That is why it is sent in one go too. Now going to the main function. So in the main function, you have the public static void main and the string arguments will be passed. Here you have the scanner class which will be creating the object for the scanner class. So scanner is equal to new scanner system.in. Afterwards, you'll be asking the user to enter the number of packets. So the user uses the scanner object which has been created, that is scanner.nextInt, and it retrieves the integer value from the user and stores it in the variable num packets, that is the number of packets. After which the number of packets, if number of packets is greater than 0, you'll check if the number of packets that is entered by the user is greater than 0. Suppose the user enters the number of packets to be as 4 and 4 is greater than 0. Yes, it is true, and it will enter the if statement. So inside the if statement, you have a for loop running. In for loop, you will initialize a variable I, which is to 1, and I should be less than or equal to number of packets, and will increment the I at the end of the loop. So what happens is, suppose you have taken the number of packets to be 4, and initially I is equal to 1. So 1 is less than or equals to 4. So the condition is true. You will enter the loop. So firstly, ask the enter the packet I will be initialized to 1 first. So enter the packet 1 size. So what is the packet 1 size? Suppose we take it as 1020. This 1020 will be entered by the user. That will be taken from the scanner.nextInt and will be stored in the packet size variable. Now this packet size variable will be sent to the function call, that is send packet. So the send packet will have the argument packet size. So here 1020 will be passed, which is this is the send packet is the function call of the function send packet. So this will transfer the control to the function send packet. So now the transfer will be sent here. So that is public static void send packet, which will have the argument that is passed, that is the packet size. So we have taken the packet size to be as 1020. Suppose 1020 is passed here. Now we'll check if the packet size is greater than the bucket size. So you have the packet size as 1020 and you have the bucket size to be as initialized to a constant, that is 1000. So when you compare, yes, it is greater. So what you will be printing? Bucket overflow. As I told earlier, you can't be storing a packet which is greater, the packet size is greater than that of the bucket size, which will cause the bucket to overflow. So this is one condition. Suppose you have the packet size to be as 400. So you have sent the packet size, you've taken the packet size to be as 400 from the user, and it will send the function to be again to here, and suppose the packet size is 400 now. Now we'll compare if 400 is greater than the bucket size, and you see that it is false, so it won't execute the if statement. It will come to the else part. So in else part, what happens is you have a while loop running. So in while loop, you have the packet size, that is 400, is greater than output rate. Output rate is initialized to 100 initially, so that is here. So 400 is greater than 100. So this is true. What happens here is you have since for the output rate is 100, you can only send 100 at a time. What you will do is you will send output rate bytes of packets is sent. So initially what happens is you have the output rate that is 100 bytes of packet is sent, after which you have packet size minus output rate. So packet size is 400, so 400 minus the output rate, which will give you 300. 300 is stored in the packet size and this should be updated. So again the while loop runs. So 300 is greater than 100. Yes, true. Then again 100 bytes of packet is sent. After which again the packet size should be decremented. That is 300 minus 100, which will be 200. Again 200 is greater than 100. So again 100 bytes of packet is sent. After which you have the packet size. That is packet size is 200. So 200 minus 100 will give you 100. That will be stored in the packet size. Again you will have 100 as the packet size and the output rate is 100. So 100 less than 100, it is not true. So it will come out of the while loop. So once it comes out of the while loop, you have the statement of printing whatever is the packet size. The left out packet size will be print. So left out packet size is 100. So 100 bytes of packet is sent. So this is for the 400, the packet size to be 400. Suppose you take the packet size to be as 100. So what happens is, firstly you will check if packet size is greater than bucket size. So packet size is 100 if it is greater than the bucket size. What is the bucket size? It is 1000. Since 100 is not greater than 1000, you won't be executing the if statement. You will coming to the else statement. Here you will have the while loop. You will check if the packet size. What is the packet size we've taken? It is 100. See, 100 is greater than 100. The output rate is 100. So it is not true. So you won't be executing the while loop. Instead, you'll come out of the else and you'll be executing the last print statement, that is 100 bytes of packet is sent. So if since the output rate is also 100 and there is only the packet size is only 100, it will be sent in one go. Suppose you have the next packet to be of packet size 50. What happens is you'll check if 50 is greater than 1000. It is false, so if statement won't be executed. You will come to the else part. You will check the while statement, that is packet size. What is the packet size we've taken? 50. So 50 is greater than the output rate. It is not true, so it will go to the it will skip the else part 2 and it will go to the last print statement, that is packet size. Packet size is 50, so 50 bytes of packet is sent. So here since the output rate is 100 and the packet size is smaller, that is only 50, it will be sent in one go too. So that is how the function will be running. So we have checked initially if the number of packet size is greater than 0. Then you will perform all of this because the packet, there is some packet that is being inserted to the network. Suppose the number of packets is not greater than 0. Then it will come to the else part, that is it will print no packets to be sent. So this is the leaky bucket algorithm program. Thank you.